Here we are today, Aaron Kinn, coming to us from the Fort Worth, Dallas Metroplex. Maybe you say Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex.
Either way.
So he's a Texas boy, and
Yes,
we got
ma'am.
lots to hear from him today, and the wonderful job he and his wife and Amanda have done over the past 2 years. So stay tuned, and Aaron Kinn will be coming up. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, awesome video.
Thanks. I'm so excited to be talking to you today.
Well,
You're like a mystery man. I want to get to know you. I want to understand what makes Aaron tick. So you are in Keller, Texas,
yes,
which
ma'am.
is right near Fort Worth, and it's the Will Rogers Coliseum in Fort Worth that I love to go show horses in. That's a great place. So you've been in business, what, 21 years?
21 years. Yes, ma'am.
21 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty good run, buddy.
Not bad. I've seen every type of market, so
Yep.
this little shift we have right now isn't really scaring me too much. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, that's a key. That's advice I'm giving to anyone is, who you work with matters under any circumstances, but especially in this market. If an agent hasn't seen this before, be cautious.
Absolutely.
But that's for another call.
Yes.
So you started out 21 years ago. You were with was it a mom and pop brokerage or just a smaller brokerage?
Yeah, just a little, it was a Prudential office. So, a pretty large company, but our office was pretty small. I think there was 40 agents across 2 offices, so it was pretty small, a good place to start. That's, it was close to my house. That's why I picked it, which is kind of crazy, but that's where I started. And then from there, I moved into Keller Williams and was at one of the largest Keller Williams offices in the country for 7 years. And then moved on my own and my own broker owner.
Well, so let me just ask you a question here.
Yeah.
So why go from, we have a similar trajectory, you and I, but why go from Keller to be an independent? I went the other way around. I was an independent and then went to Keller. So why'd you do that?
So the timing was the most important thing for me, or the reason. It was 2009. So the height of the downturn. And at that time, we had restructured our business to work with a lot of REO and bank assets. So in order to get the major assets like Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, and HUD, you had to be your own broker owner. So it wasn't anything that really Keller Williams did to push me out the door. It was more, I needed to be my own broker owner to get and create more business. And we did. We ended up being direct with HUD and Fannie Mae. And that turned out to be a huge, huge success for us, being able to do that.
So you made your decision based on the timing, what the model that you needed to have for the current market was to be an independent broker.
Yeah, correct. It just, my bread and butter up until 2008 was, we were a lot of first-time home buyers. We sold a lot of first-time home buyers, or that first move up. And that really got impacted when all of the subprime banks went under basically in one day or 1 week. Yeah. And, we had to look for another leg, to have some leverage, to have some business to make it through, because it's my full-time career. So I didn't want to go back to teaching high school again. So
real estate is a career. That's what I say. So how was that being your own broker? How did that go?
It was good. And it was a lot of things I didn't expect, I think is the best way to put it. And it was good from the fact that I had freedom to do what I needed to do. As far as marketing went, or how I wanted to advertise, or where I wanted to put my brokerage, things like that. The things I didn't really expect was how much more time I was going to be involved in the broker side of things. That would take me away from what I was good at, which was sales, selling houses. And it actually impacted the bottom line because of that. Number one, I thought I had to have an office space. So we went out and got, couple thousand square feet of office
Your
space.
name on the lease. That's fun.
And you have to secure the lease, right? And you have to be personally guarantee the lease, or at least we do here. And then moving from that, I thought, okay, I need somebody there in case somebody walks in, which nobody ever walked in, unless they had an appointment. I rarely had my agents walk in. So it was one of those things where I was paying for an office, and then I was paying for someone to staff it, and then all the other stuff that goes with it. And I wasn't really prepared for, plus all the state audits.
And the copier lease and
all of
the
that
errors
stuff.
and emission insurance. And
the errors and emission insurance, though small at every other company, is quite a bit larger when you're your own brokerage. I mean, even if it's $1,000 or so a year, it's still bigger than what you'd pay at most brokerages. But then when you actually start having, I had about 12 agents, I think, at the biggest point we were. And so that cost went up substantially. And unfortunately, we had a lawsuit with one of those agents. They actually did a transaction outside of the brokerage, meaning they didn't turn it into me. And of course, that was the one that ended up getting a lawsuit. And of course, everything rolls up to the brokerage. She quits real estate. I'm on the hook for all of it. My E&O insurance basically quadruples.
Ooh.
So yeah, so there was some definite pain there for all of this freedom that you'd get. I think that's one of the fallacies, is a lot of agents believe that I'm going to be my own broker, so everything, I get 100% of everything. And, and quickly you realize you don't.
I don't want to give my money to somebody else. I'm just going to be my own broker until you do it. I've been there too. So
and you're a little bit thinking that's the pinnacle, like being your own broker owner is the pinnacle.
Right. Because you're building a business. That's one of the things, the problems, the challenges in our industry is because as an agent, we really, at the end of the day, don't have a lot to show for it other than our, lock boxes and yard signs have value maybe, but what we've been able to save, which is, important to do. Other than that, we got nothing. So we think, I have a brokerage, I have an asset or something like that, but get down into the weeds of the whole thing. And, it's that old joke. Why do you call him the broker? Because he's broker and you got your own personal production is used to support your brokerage and all of the time and the, hey, got a minutes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Kathy, I honestly believe that's one thing you just said that was super important, that when you look at all small brokerages, and I'm talking, 10, 15 people, maybe, if you take out the head of the snake, myself in that case, my production floated the office. Like if I took my production away, we would go out of business. Right. And honestly, you think that's what I'm going to build a sellable asset. Well, it's very difficult to sell a real estate
without
broker.
you.
Yeah, without a person producing.
And I'll add another layer to that because I've done some coaching with small brokerages, and many times the broker doesn't even realize it because they're so busy doing what they do. And if you take away, the numbers that the agents are putting in, and you say, hey, Aaron, do you realize that, it's costing you X out of your personal production every month to keep this thing afloat? And frequently the answer is, gosh, I've been so busy, I didn't even realize that.
100% accurate. Yeah, absolutely. From personal experience and then from other brokers I've talked to.
So you were experiencing pain and you decided to look around because I know you're with EXP now.
Yes.
So how did that happen? How did that evolve? And it was back in 2018?
2018.
You joined okay.
Yeah. Right. My good friend, Jeff Morrell from Colorado.
Jeff.
Called and said, hey, you got to check this out. And I've known Jeff for, at this point, 15, 16 years. So I trust Jeff. We had similar businesses. We're in the same coaching program. If he's telling me to look at something that's, beneficial, I'm going to look at it. So I did. And it was a God thing. I honestly believe that because it was at the right timing. All this had just happened with the lawsuit and all of that. And was I looking for something different? No, I was just going to plow through, but something different showed up and I looked at it. And the thing that stuck out, there was two things that really stuck out to me. And that was one, stock accumulation. I had been in real estate for 17 years at that point. And beyond a couple rental properties that I own, I really didn't have a whole lot stocked away for retirement, nor do most agents. Most agents' retirement account is, unfortunately, they're,
the next closing
career and life, unfortunately, there's very few retirement parties in real estate. And that's sad.
It's called a funeral.
Yeah. I mean, it's really sad. So I saw that and I was like, holy cow, I can actually do the exact same thing I'm already doing and earn some stock on the back of it. So I actually have a path to retirement if I do want to retire at some point, or just slow down. I have a way to earn extra stream of income. The average, millionaire has 7 streams of income. Right. If you're just selling real estate, you have 1, so you have to create some other ones. And through EXP, we actually have 3 or 4, that automatically happen with doing what we're already doing.
Well, and just like the fun thing I think about the stock is we get our stock at a 10% discount. So if you think about whoever your money manager is, if they bring in 10% on your money year over year, you say, hey, you're doing a pretty good job, buddy. But, we're guaranteed to make that on day one. So it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, you get it right up front.
Yeah. So you looked around, you understood the model, and you made a choice.
Yeah. I went actually deep dived in my business, put pen to paper, figured out the numbers I was doing as a brokerage, like we talked about, how much was going out the door, especially if I pulled myself out, and then what it could mean with EXP, with both the stock comp and the revenue share that we could build as well with it. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I could run my office the exact same way, or my team, just like I ran my brokerage. Nothing changed except I added EXP to my logo. That's about it.
Well, and that's kind of the thing, right? Which a lot of people are discovering now is how to build a brokerage within a brokerage, if you will, and outsource all of the pain points that you had prior.
Yeah. And all of those expenses that you don't need, that are just, for lack of a better term, fluff, to make yourself have a bigger ego. Oh, look at my building, or, look at my office space that no one comes to, so there's those things that you don't need, put them into things that will work for you. The training, you get coaching. I can log in every day and get it if I want to, and we offer that to the newer agents that come aboard. Is they have me they can lean on, but then there's 86,000 agents right now that they can lean on too. Because realistically, a lot of the agents, or everyone I've run into, are an open book. They'll share anything they've got with you. It's
pretty amazing the level of collaboration that is here in the company, because we're all owners, and we it's like I just called you up and say, hey, Aaron, can you spend 20 minutes with me? And you're like, sure, here, book Calendly. So how's it been? Let's talk about your own personal business. Okay.
Sure.
How has your personal business been since you've been with EXP?
The personal business hasn't suffered at all. We've actually done more business. One, because I got to offload a lot of stuff that I didn't need to be doing as a broker.
Right. Got your time back.
I got my time back, so I could focus on the things that I was good at again, which was, helping people buy homes and sell homes, and talking to agents about how to do this as a profession, training, those things. So I was able to pour back into my people more because I had to do less of the stuff that wasn't netting me any more income.
Well, that's amazing. And your team members, how has it affected their lives?
Yeah, they're great too. I mean, everyone, when we sat everybody down at the same time, showed them, hey, this is what I'm looking at doing. I would love for you to see the same things I saw and how it could benefit you. And I think out of the 12 people I had at that time, 9 of them came over. 7 of them are still here. A couple of them aren't even in real estate anymore. So just one of those things. Not everybody's going to stay, but that's every brokerage, right?
Yeah.
So I knew that coming in, and I think it's plus to their lives as well too, for the same reasons we already talked about. As far as getting stock, and they still have me. I'm still showing them what to do, or training them on how to do things, still sharing leads and appointments. So nothing really changed from that aspect.
So what's your vision for yourself? Where are you going from here?
Realistically, I think the biggest thing for me is working towards that end date, so to speak. And I want to have the ability to go travel as much as I want to travel, or go live wherever I want to live and still be able to sell real estate if I want to, or
Right.
build enough.
We're an international company.
Yeah. Or build enough
One
passive income and
Yeah.
residual income where I don't have to if I don't want to. So, I mean, and
that.
I've never seen that opportunity until I saw EXP, and it was pretty evident that it could create what I wanted for my future. Otherwise, I was just going to be, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and praying for a different result, which never happens.
Groundhog Day.
That's it. Yeah.
January 1, it's Groundhog Day. But here
Yeah.
at EXP, January 1, there's, real estate that has to be refreshed, but we have a couple other pillars of income that are just going to carry on with us. So we're not starting from scratch every year, which is one of the things I really love.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So your next step, what will that be? What's your next goal ahead of you?
I think my next goal is wanting to share more of what I've done in this business with other people, create businesses for them. Right. And, the old Zig Ziglar thing, you'll get everything in life if you help enough people get what they want. I think that's really my driving force now, is helping agents achieve greatness within the business and within our model.
And are you helping agents to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've done that since, when I think my third or fourth year in the business, I started building a team.
Right.
And when you start building a team, you have to start doing that. You have to start training people how to do things in your business, so it's just taking it from a small little 1 or 2 person team to a much larger aspect, which you don't really have to have a whole lot more to do that. It's just the knowledge that you already have that you can share.
One of the things that I really appreciate is that if you want to have a big team, all of the resources, the top minds in the industry are here to share freely and say, okay, here's my playbook. Send me an email. I'll send you my playbook if that's what you want. If you want a mid-sized team, which is kind of, what I choose to have, same thing. Top minds in the industry. Here's my playbook. Here's what I do. Follow it step by step if you want. I don't care. Or if you want to be a solo agent, same thing, 80 hours a week worth of education if you're just starting out. Or do you want to be a team member? Hey, maybe you're in Texas and you want to be on Aaron's team. So it's just so amazing, the different resources that we can offer agents.
Yeah, like you said earlier, I think a key word of collaboration.
Yeah.
And, everyone does that here. And the beauty of this too is we really pull for each other and work with each other. I think this year I've sent out 7 referrals out of state that have closed. And I've received around the same that I have closed that I never would have had. Right. So it's one of those things it's really awesome. And it's a lot because I get to meet people like you through doing Zooms like this and, collaborating, learning a little bit about your business. We were talking earlier about your tech stack and like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go check that out, because I can pick a little thing from you and implement it into my business that helps my business grow. And then I can let it sift down through the people I work with too. So that's awesome.
And I got my tech stack that I'm still working on from my sponsor in EXP. I just said, what's my move here? And he said, do this, this, and this. I said, okay. And I said, well, how do you do this? And he's like, here's my playbook. Okay. Come over and ask him more questions if you want.
Yeah, it's perfect. And then you just start implementing, right?
Right. Well, Aaron, thanks so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to invite anybody who wants to reach out. Aaron, how do people get in contact with you?
Best way for me is I'll give you my cell phone number, 817-939-6584. Or you can email me, 817-939-6584.
Okay.
Or you can email me, Aaron at KINNRE.com.
KINNRE.com?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, thanks, Aaron. Really appreciate your time. And let's keep in touch.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okie doke. Talk soon.